the comment of the day. And I know, like I said, I promised that there's going to be something nasty, and but once again, I find yet another great comment of the day, and this one we need to talk about. Okay, so Mark here says, I'm afraid it's going to take a generation of men walking away before women start to shape up their attitudes. So I disagree, Mark, but not in a way how you think I'm disagreeing with you. The reason, well, first of all, you know that a lot of men have not even been red pilled. However, as soon as you get red pilled, like I have been, and you start having some standards, you started setting some better boundaries and having some self-respect, you all of a sudden realize that a lot of these women kind of disappear. You end up not matching and not swiping right much, not approaching women much. Like every day I sit at the cafe and I look at women passing by and I look at her, I was like, wow, it's a cute girl. Maybe I should get up and talk to her. And then as soon as she gets closer, I see a tattoo or a nose ring or something else that, if somebody who's been red pilled knows to stay away, but a simp will be like, so a lot of women kind of disappear once you get red pilled. And, a lot of men are starting to ask, okay, well, I can be one of those guys who walked away completely and have no women in my life. Okay, I can be like Alex and become a passport bro and go to another country where there's some women still left who are traditional and great. Or I can wait it out because, these women, they are now realizing, a lot of them in their 30s and 40s, they're realizing that what they've done to themselves is not really working. And at the end of the day, they much rather maybe scale back on their careers, scale back on their masculinity. A lot of them are now saying they would like to remove their tattoos and become more of regular traditional women like their mothers were, right? So, and so some men are saying, like, I don't know, can we wait it out? Maybe 1-2 years, And the answer, so that's why this question is asked, because it's a really legit question. The problem is, I believe that women will absolutely shape up and turn around within half a year. If all men do it at the same time, right? If we red pill all men and start behaving the way they should behave. But the men who have been red pilled, maybe at like what, 5%, 10%? Now, a lot of these are quality men. So when a bunch of quality men walked away and a already small pool of quality men has now been kind of diminished to maybe half or even less, women absolutely notice. But it's not enough because a lot of these women still going for simps. Simps are very easy to deal with. Simps give you your attention, your validation, your money, all of that stuff, And a lot of women just prefer to milk simp after simp after simp, sometimes at the same time, whatever. So we're nowhere near the critical mass of men who essentially are going to reject the Western type of women for them to shape up. And maybe that's the question. And then in that case, you might be right. It will take a generation for men to reach the critical mass. But as soon as that happens, women will shape the fuck up real quick, right? Because no one's going to be dating them. It's going to hit them real hard. Now, of course, I can tell you again about the experiment that we're kind of running here with women when Western women come here and they continue to behave the same way and end up not meeting any men. There are pretty much no men who are interested in them. So here I can also make a case that some of these women will just have to die off, right? So in that case, I kind of also agree with you. But even here, we have so many simps that these women don't really feel, yes, nobody marries them here, but they still feel that there's plenty of dudes who are giving them attention and money. So it kind of feels the same to them. So the problem is not how fast the women will shape up. The problem is how fast the men will shape up and get red pilled. And that is the problem. However, what I see is happening before that, unfortunately, is that AI catching up to creating, virtual girlfriends, where I think a lot of men will go and seek, just a virtual relationships with the AI girl that they've created. And then another, I would say, decade, which is not really a generation technically, I think we will have sort of sex robots that are good enough for men to say, yeah, we're good. we're good. Also, I think with time, prostitution will be legalized. That's another thing. It's kind of like AI robot. I don't care who wins, or they'll just live side by side, right? Legalize prostitution and AI sex bots. But if we reach that point, the game is over. Men will absolutely not need women anymore. And you can argue that that's kind of the case even here where I live in Southeast Asia, right? Because you essentially can hire pretty much a girl to perform every single most important wifely duty, and you can have multiple of them, and you end up spending less time and money on it, and that's a lifestyle that some men definitely pick. So that's why I think sooner or later prostitution will be legalized, but that probably is not even going to last that long because AI will catch up. So great comment. Great. I mean, this is something we need to talk about a lot because, you know, if you're a man who wants to still be in a relationship, you will have some decisions to make. And this is why I've created the Million Men Project, right? This is my baby. This is what I've essentially created for you guys to go and explore what it is that you need to do and what are the step-by-step instructions on what you need to do to get the fuck out of your Western country and pick the country of your choice, where you still will have a chance to, well, one, a few traditional women that are still around, but secondly, just choices. Like, to me, the best part of being here in Thailand is not so much that I have, and of course it's great that I have some good choices of women who are still traditional with family values and so forth. But what I value the most about my life here as a single guy is the amount of different choices of types of life that I can have with women or without them. And that's what I really, really like.
If you want to ditch modern women and move abroad for more traditional relationships, go to themillionmenproject.com, take my most comprehensive course, and change your life.